I think it was the guy that stands above the rest of everybody else, and that's I think Zach Edey and Purdue. I looked up at one point, and it was 21-1 against a good Samford team. They were up. I think it was like 40 in the first half. They ended up winning 98-45, and that's not a bad Samford team that Purdue ended up playing, and to be able to just completely rip a team's soul out in the first 5 minutes of a game like that, I think says a lot about what Purdue what was thinking about this entire offseason, right? And I think it shows you the level of difference between where Purdue is right now and where Michigan State is right now. Because the craziest thing about it is Michigan State was the third best 3-point shooting team in college basketball last year, and they only lost one guy from their rotation, right? They lost Joey Hauser. Did it really change that much with what they were doing last year versus this year? Whereas you look at Purdue and they just come out and it's the same kind of steamroll thing, right? Yes, they got Trey Kaufman-Penn in there, and yes, they got Lance Jones in there, and yes, they look like they might be a little bit more athletic. And maybe we all kind of underrated the leap that Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer would take from their freshman to sophomore seasons. But Purdue just looked like an absolute buzzsaw against the kind of team. Like, look, Samford is the kind of team that Fairleigh Dickinson is. They want to play buckyball. They want to get up and press you. They want to try to force turnovers. They want to shoot a bunch of threes. They want to pace in space. They want to do all that. And Purdue just completely suffocated them in the first 5 minutes of the game. It was over. It was over by the first TV timeout. That game was over.
Yep.
Yeah, the 0 for 13 start by Samford from behind the three-point arc was not the bucky ball that we're all used to. And he's a terrific coach and he's done an unbelievable job there. But I agree with Rob. I think it was the most impressive performance of the night. I think if Purdue doesn't lose in the first round of the NCAA tournament, and I get it, they did, and that's a big storyline, and we all have to talk about it. I understand that. We have them as the number one team in the country. I really believe that because of what they did last year and what they brought back. And you're talking about a team that spent 7 weeks as the number one team in the country. And right. Matt Painter has spent the entire offseason looking at why did we lose in the first round? Why do we keep losing in the first round? Because if they would have played FDU earlier in the year, they would have beat them by 40, right? Much like they did tonight. So what's the issue? What do we got fixed so we can win more games in March? But had they not lost in the first round last year, they're the number one team in the country. With everything that they have back, with the National Player of the Year back, the way that they performed tonight, you're picking them number one. At least I am. That's how I'm looking at them. They're the number one team in the country.